Hi everyone, New York Times bestselling author Jamie Brumfield, and I'm back to you today with another live video. Today we are going to talk about time in many different aspects. So time is super important. It's the one thing that we spend every day and we can never get back. How important is that? Like the idea of the fact that when we're spending time, we need to get a return on our investment, our ROI. And I've done videos on this channel about getting an ROI, a return on your investment on time. I'll link that up down below. But today we're going to talk about the time component of the Smart Wins plan, as well as we're going to talk about 10 different ways that you can save time. So I thought it would be a great way to start our video by talking about how we're going to save time. I'm going to share with you 10 different ways, some of the 10 really easy ways, some super easy ways for you to, and very impactful ways for you to save time. I'm also going to, in the membership club, the Design Your Desired Future or Design Your Best Future Club, I'm going to share many, many more this week because the focus this week is on time and the focus this month is on finances. So in the membership club, we're going to be focusing in on finances and doing a deep dive into those areas. Our extra video every week will be somehow pertaining to finances, and of course, if I have like family videos or things like that, I'll share those as well. But so keep in mind that those are the things that are coming up. So today we're going to talk about 10 ways that you could save time. Want more? Click the join button down below. $8.99 a month, $8.99 a month. You can join our Facebook group, and our Facebook group where we discuss all of these concepts that we talk about on this channel in greater detail, kind of really deep dive into some of these things more so than what you can do in a video format, which is what we do here. So join us over there. We'd love to have you join our family. All right. So let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about the 10 ways to save time. 10 ways to save time. This is, many of these you probably know about, but the thing about time, and let me just talk about this for a minute as people are coming on. And as you come on, please definitely say hi in the chat section if you're live, or just say hi and where you're from down in the comment section if you're watching this on the replay. I love to know where my viewers are from. It's really nice to know that we have viewers from all over the world. How cool is that? That is so neat. Okay, so here's the thing about time. Sometimes it takes time to change a habit or change a behavior, and sometimes it takes time to make changes in our life that will save us time in the long run. So the biggest struggle that I've had with clients as far as understanding the time component is figuring out how to give up that little bit of time now as you're learning things and see the results, and then understand that that time payoff is going to be huge on the back end. So keep that in mind. Also, you have to sometimes convince yourself that some of these tasks that you're doing that are going to save you time will actually save you time. I remember when I first started, and I'm going to share with you my story here. When I first started doing time management, the idea of spending 30 minutes planning out my day seemed kind of like, I'm spending 30 minutes to plan out my day and I'm just going to be doing these again tomorrow. So why am I spending all of this time planning my day? What I did was I needed to prove to myself that it was worth my time. Also, it helped me when I could share this story with my clients or with you on these videos, right? So what I did was for a month, I took my journey journal and I basically just I basically went over at the end of the day and I reflected on how my day went. And one of the main things that I would reflect on every day for those 30 days, again, it takes 30 days, 21 days to create a habit according to psychology. I always say 30 because that's an average 21 days. So I always say 30. You're covered, right? So for the most part, it takes consistently doing something for 30 days, 21 days or 30 days to create a habit on average. Okay, so I went for 30 days in my journey journal and I wrote specifically how I reflected on how my day was going, what worked, what didn't work. If I did a schedule that day, if I had planned a schedule out that day, how much should I get done? Was I productive? And if I didn't plan out a schedule that day, was I productive? How much should I get done? Well, lo and behold, almost every single day that I did not have a plan in place, I was usually half productive than I was when I had something in place. Some days I would end my day and I'd be like, well, I didn't get anything done. And then I realized, oh, I didn't write out my schedule. That's how I had to convince myself that the time I took, those 30 minutes every day I took to write out my schedule, plan out my day, was well worth it. And it has paid off in volumes as far as productivity for years. So you have to find a way that it's going to work for you. That's what worked for me to convince myself that planning my day was very helpful. Find a way that it works for you. Try that. Maybe that would work for you too. And if that's not going to work for you, then find another way to convince yourself or prove to yourself spending those 30 minutes to plan your day is well worth it. So that is number one tip, is schedule your day. I am telling you, when you start scheduling your day, you will be shocked at how productive you will be. You will be so productive. You will get so much done because you've got it down. That's number two. Follow your schedule. Make sure you're doing your schedule. So many people, and I have worked with so many clients. I have worked with, in corporate America, I worked with coaches and managers who were coaching and developing their employees, and I coached and developed them. Time management was huge. They had teams of 15, 18 people that they were managing and juggling that as well as all their other tasks. So I had to teach them how to be very productive. And so over the years, I've learned it is unmistakable. If you plan your day, you're going to be more productive. People will tell me, I've heard that before, Jamie, it doesn't work for me. I've talked to clients one-on-one. It doesn't work for me. Again, you got to convince yourself. You got to prove to yourself that it works. And once you do, you will never stop planning your day. You will see the value in it. You will get an ROI on your time. And that's really what you're wanting, right? So number three, analyze your time management and make adjustments. So those three are the top, right? If you do those, you're going to see a huge jump in productivity. If you don't do anything else on this list, you're going to see a huge jump in productivity just with those top three. Now let's go to number four, turn off social media. So give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm talking about on this video. Turn off social media. How many times have you sat and you've gone onto Facebook or Twitter or something and started scrolling, Instagram, started scrolling, and then all of a sudden an hour's gone. It's like just blew an hour. Social media is I write paranormal books, so let's just call it a time vampire, right? Social media is a time vampire. It sucks the time away. So what I do is the tip that I have for you here is not just turning off social media, but plan in your day that you have a certain set time, a scheduled time to go onto social media if you have to go onto social media. We all have it. As an author, as a YouTuber, I have to promote my books. As somebody that works with a membership club and other things that I'm doing online, I have to go and do social media. But I don't have to be on it all day, and you don't either. So the thing is plan when you're going to go on to social media, plan what you're going to do, set a time as to how long you're going to be on social media, and set a timer on your phone to make sure that when that time is up, you're done. You are done. You've done your social media time. Whatever is not done can be done tomorrow or on your next scheduled social media time. So turn off social media except during scheduled times. 5, finish one thing at a time. Do it right. Some of you might know this as no multitasking. Our brains, psychology has proven, science has proven, our brains are not wired to multitask. Now, when I was in management over a decade ago, multitasking, I would brag, I'm a great multitasker. Now I look back and I'm like, yeah, I got a lot done, but it wasn't always done right. It wasn't always done really well. It was just done. And then I was moving on to the next thing. When your brain is wired to do one thing at a time. And if you do that one thing at a time and you get into what is called the flow, the zone, right? you can cruise through that one task, even if it's a task that you don't enjoy doing, that kind of thing. You will find that it was very successful to just focus in on one task. Our brain is wired to do one thing at a time and then move on to the next thing. If you put half of your energy into one task while you're putting half of your energy into the other task, you're only going to get half done or half effective or half the results that you would have gotten on this task and half the results you would have gotten on this task as if you had done it all one focus. I know it's hard to shift that idea, because when I was in management, multitasking was huge. I used to give advice, do multitasking. Science has come back and said our brains just aren't wired that way. So give up the multitasking and focus in on one task. Set a time for you to do it. Get into the zone, get into that flow, and allow yourself to cruise through to the end of that task. Then move on to your next steps. You will find that you will save time doing that. Number 6, learn to say no. I have oftentimes said, if you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Look at your day when you schedule your day. Look at how much spare time you have in your day. A good portion of us, especially those who are really working towards achieving our goals, working towards, making the best of our time, getting a good return on our investment on our time, a good portion of us fill up our schedule and do tiny little mini me breaks in there in between, right? But we have our schedule filled up. And those mini breaks sometimes wind up being, if things blow up and explode and you have to come back and you have to put everything aside just so you can take care of the fire that you're putting out, because emergencies do happen. So the thing about our time is, if you look at our time, the majority of us, we'll find that we don't have much time left over to take on new tasks. We don't have much time left over to do new things. So learning to say no is super important for time management. You will find that you will get so much back. Think about it this way. 2 ways to look at this. 1, what is the return on your investment that you're going to get? And is it worth saying no to something that's already on your schedule? Because you're going to have to bump something that's already on your schedule. You're going to have to bump it out to make time for this new thing that you've said yes to. So and that's the second thing is it worth you saying no to something? Because when you say yes to something, for me, when I say yes to something, it means I'm saying no to something else. What am I sacrificing? Take a look at your balanced life wheel. Look at what's on your balanced life. Look at the 8 areas of your life. We've talked about the balanced life in videos before, and I'll link up a video down below if you haven't seen how to do a detailed balanced life graph or wheel. But look at it, and what are you going to give up? Because you're giving something up to say yes to something. Another thing that you can do is say no to things that are unnecessary. So saying no to new things that you have to give up other things for is definitely one way to do it. And saying no to unnecessary things. When I was in management, there were a lot of meetings. There still are, because my husband's in management, there are a lot of meetings. Are all of those meetings necessary? Learning where you can cut and shave time. And even if you can get 30 minutes back from a meeting that is not necessary that you be there, that is learning to say no. Other things, what can you look at your schedule and what can you shave off to find more time to work on productive things? And that's really a big key here. If you're running a business or you're working for someone, or wherever you're going, I always say, what's going to be my money-making task? Because I work from home and I run businesses, right? What's going to be my money-making task? These are important. These are priorities. What's going to be my most productive task towards my goals in the future, right? These are the things that are important. So look at those and make sure that those are number 1 on your task list and on your schedule. And what can you shave off of your schedule that might be unnecessary, might not be important for you to be there? might be something that you could fix with, instead of a phone call, maybe you could fix it with an email. There are a lot of ways to cut time in those unnecessary areas. And when you analyze, number 3, you analyze your time management and make adjustments, that's kind of what we're talking about. You're making adjustments and finding ways to give you back more time to do the more productive or money-making tasks that you need. All right, number 7, hire someone to delegate, or hire someone or delegate tasks. Now, for me, as a home business owner, when it comes to making book covers, I can make a book cover for one of my books, and I can do that. It'd probably take me a day and a half, 2 days, and then I'm going to send it out to my street team or my fans, and I'm going to say, hey guys, which one do you like the best? Which one catches your eye the most? I'll do all of that. And I've done it both ways. I've done it where I've done that, and I've done it where I've actually paid someone to do my book cover. And I have paid someone as little as $25 to do my book cover from Fiverr.com and getting a great book cover. I mean, it's an amazing book cover. So look at what you're doing. Do I spend a week trying to make, or 2 days minimum to up to a week of my time trying to make a book cover myself? Or do I hire someone to do it for $25, get a great book cover that people love, and it's already done. It's off my plate. So find ways that you can, if there's ways that you can do that, to hire someone. That's a great way to save time. Maybe you can't hire someone. Maybe you're not running a business, but maybe you're a manager at your organization. Learn to delegate. Delegate is super important. And so being comfortable with delegation, the biggest struggle that people face when they're dealing with delegation is letting go, giving up control, and trusting in their employees or the people that they delegate to, trusting that it's going to be a good job. And that's the hardest part to delegation that I've seen from experience with working with other people. That's what people tell me is their biggest area. Of course, there's other things that can come into play, but those are the biggest areas. So getting comfortable with that is really important. Getting comfortable. It was hard for me to give up making my book covers. Like, I don't know if they're going to do a good job. Then the book cover comes back in a day or two, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. That's better than what I could have done. I started to learn to give up that control. Same thing in management. You sometimes you have to learn to give up that control, and then you find more time. All right, number 8, bundle similar tasks. So take your errands and run them all in one section of your time for the week. Do your phone calls, run them all in this one section of time during the week. Take your bills, do those. Maybe you've got cleaning, housework, that kind of thing. Maybe you do meal prep so you don't have to cook every day. Those kind of things. Actually, that's one of these later on the list. So bundle those similar tasks together, because then again, you get into that flow that we talked about, and that flow is super, super helpful. All right, number 9 is weekly meal plan, and doing a meal prepping saves time and money. Time and money, I promise you, it saves you time and money. Planning out my meals and doing a weekly prep where I actually make the food in advance, and then I just piecemeal the meals together. Hi, Megan Ashley. Where I piecemeal the meals together, that saves me so much time and so much money, and it can save you so much time and so much money. Now, for anybody who's joining or anybody who's watching this on the replay, which one of these tips have you used that you find saves you time? Let me know in the comment section below. Number 10, shop online. Use the grocery pickup service. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much time I save using the grocery pickup service. You go online, you order your food, and they've got them at Fry's, Walmart, Kroger. They've even got them on Bashas' now. Many places will just do online. You order online, you just pick it up, curbside service, whatever. These are great time savers. The amount of time that you get back is astronomical. And I kind of timed it out this week. That's why I included this as number 10 on my list, because for the time that it took me this last week, I actually went into the stores and went shopping this last week. The time that it took me to go shopping and doing all of the figuring out what we're going to eat, walking through the aisles, avoiding, or with my daughter, wanting to grab everything that's sweet and put it in the cart. And then also detouring from my shopping list. Oh my gosh, there were just so many things. I spent more money going into the store than I would have if I had shopped online. And I spent way more time than just going and picking it up. So you really taking those kind of things and shopping online, doing the curbside pickup, that will save you a lot of time. It will also save you a lot of money. Now, this month, like I said earlier, is we're going to be focusing in on finances in the membership club as well as on the channel. So this month is all about financing, or finance, not financing. Finances, your finances, the money. I thought that was a really great topic, and I'm really glad that when I posed that question in the membership club, they really were excited about that, because right now with the way the world is and what's going on, I think that learning how to save money and manage our finances a little bit better, it can be a really great help. So if you haven't already joined the membership club, click join down below. It's $8.99 a month. We'd love to have you there. All right, so I see Megan Ashley join. Hi. Anybody else join? Please comment and say hi in the chat section on this side. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out where it is on the screen when I'm looking back. Welcome. Glad to have you guys. Today we're going to talk, we just went over that list of 10 ways to save time. If you missed it, definitely go back and watch the beginning of this video because I gave you a lot of different ways. Now we're going to talk about, on the Smart Wins plan, the time component. So it all ties together. So if you've been following this month, or the last 2 months actually, we've been talking about my Smart Wins plan. This is the plan that I use. This is a plan that I share with my clients. This is a plan that I've shared with all of you on this channel in multiple videos. I've broken it down by component, as well as I shared an overview video, and all of that I will link down below. We've already gone over specific goal, measurements, action items, realistic last week, and then this week we're going to go over the time component. And then we've got a couple more down here we'll go over later. So the time component is pretty similar to what is in the SMART planning. So many of you know that I've adapted the SMART plan to the Smart Wins I adapted the Smart Wins plan from the SMART plan. This is about the same. The whole point to the T on SMART planning is time. When is your deadline? When are you going to achieve this task? That's straight up the simplest way to put it. When are you going to achieve it? You have to have a deadline. The deadline is what's going to keep you on track. For me, I found that even though you have a deadline, you need to add more to that. I always seem to add more to things, right? But it's actually to work smarter, not harder, right? You get to the end of the week and you haven't achieved what you were looking to achieve, then you're working harder to either try to catch up, or you might just say, you know what, I'll just start next week and go with it. So I add a little bit more to kind of help us work smarter. And that component that I add to it is a checkpoint, different checkpoints. In the membership club, I usually just go in and post on Wednesday or Thursday. I say, hey, it's midweek check-in. Where are you at? What are you doing? How are you doing? It's just a helpful reminder to say, hey, let's check and make sure we're on track. And if we're not, if we're midweek, we have time to adapt so that we can make the changes necessary so we still have a chance to achieve success. And that's what ultimately, if you're making a Smart Wins plan, you want success. So not only do you add a deadline, but you add a checkpoint, at least one checkpoint. Some people add multiple checkpoints. Some people say, hey, I'm going to check every day. I'm going to come back to the Smart Wins plan every day and look at it and say, am I on track? What do I need to change, and how I'm going to do it? They put it in their journey journal, especially when they're first learning how to do a SMART plan or a Smart Wins plan. They do that so that they stay on track all week long. It builds that consistency and it makes the habit solidify and become more consistent faster. So you can do it every day. You can do a checkpoint. You can do a midweek checkpoint, which is what I usually do. You could do 2-week checkpoints. So you do a week, or you do it at the beginning of the week. Maybe you start your Smart Wins today, and that's your challenge today. What's your Smart Wins plan today? And what are you going to do for the week? So today you start it. Maybe you check it on Wednesday, and then maybe you check it on Saturday or Friday. So you've got multiple days that you're going back, or maybe you just check it every day. It's up to you. That's completely up to you, whatever you want to do. But under the time component of your Smart Wins plan, you want to put specifically when you're going to do your check-ins. And then that way it will help you. So you got your check-ins, you've got your deadline, and that is the time component. Pretty simple, which is why we had fun talking about time, because I knew that was going to be a little bit longer. So I've got time to give back to you today. So I'm going to open up the floor for any questions you might have. Please feel free to ask your questions in the chat. And if you don't have any questions, that's all right. If you want to just talk, whatever you want to do, say hi, whatever you want to do, this is your time. I'm going to go ahead and stay on the line until 30 after. So let's talk. What's working? What's not working? What kind of questions do you have? What kind of concerns do you have? What are you looking forward to talking about as far as finances this month, as far as the money component of your balanced life wheel? Have you done your balanced life wheel? You want to do it every month, the beginning of the month. So have you done it? So there's a post going live in the membership club later today to remind everybody, make sure you do your balanced life wheel. So have you done it? And have you looked at it? Have you looked at with your balanced life wheel? Have you said, okay, so this is what's improved and this is what hasn't improved. This is how my goals have worked to help me improve. You want to, right now, as you're learning this process, you want to reaffirm with yourself, with your subconscious and your conscious mind, even your superconscious mind, that this is working for you. This is something when you're working with a coach that we talk about when we do individual coaching sessions. So if you can find a way to do it through your journaling and keep yourself honest and do those reflections, it's really helpful. And you don't need a coach, but you might need a coach because you want somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of, or, get that kind of sounding board or whatever you need with the coach to help you as far as asking those probing questions that nobody really likes to ask themselves. If that doesn't help, then I would ask the question, what's getting in the way? What kind of obstacles are getting in the way of sticking to it? And try to find a way to plan something that you can do to overcome that obstacle before it gets in your way, before it gets in your path. That I'd like to be proactive on obstacles, don't you? I mean, it's just nice. So look at this last week and see what caused you to stumble and not stick with it this week. What got in the way, kind of thing. And then is there something you could put in your Smart Wins plan under new from last week, or maybe out of the box thinking, an innovative solution to any kind of obstacles that you can do under the I or the N? Is there something you could put in there to overcome the possible obstacle this coming week to help you stick to it? And hopefully that'll help give you a hand during that consultation. I do too. I really love these Monday get-togethers, these Monday lives. I always call them a call or a video, or I have a hard time with calling them a live, but I really love these Monday lives, these Monday meetings. They're just a really good, hey, let's talk about what's working, what's not working. Hey, let's talk about some new concepts that we can do. Let's kind of hash things out, and any kind of questions you have, I can try to answer. So I love them. So I'm glad you do too. For those of you who might be listening and don't have any questions, but think of any questions, or if you're on the replay and you come up with a question and you'd like an answer, list it down below in the comment section below. I will check those out this following week and see if I can get back to as many people as possible. And if there are questions that could help a lot of people, I usually try to turn those into a video that can be helpful so people can watch it and get all the information from that aspect as well. So go ahead and comment down below in the comment section if you're on the replay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I guess I will let y'all go. We will, I think in March, we're going to try to keep this at 30 minutes, but April, I might extend this out to maybe an hour, so we have a longer question and answer section for people to ask questions. All right. Well, I'm going to let everybody go, and I will see you all very soon. Again, this month we're going to be working on the finance aspect of the Balanced Life Wheel. I think I might just put a Balanced Life Wheel on the back wall here so y'all can see it. It might actually be helpful. So we'll work on the finance aspect or the money aspect of the Balanced Life Wheel this month. So I look forward to any kind of questions you might have in that area. Let me know in the comment section below as well. And I will see you all real soon. Thanks for tuning in. I'm New York Times bestselling author Jamie Brumfield. I'll see you soon. Bye.